Hello, hello. Okay. We are live. Make sure everything's going good. All right. Looks like we're live. Let's go to the 5 minute. See what we're looking at here for the day. Daily volume profile. Let's do this real quick. All right. So value high, value low, and we're about to hit 630. So all right. Shifting. And there we go. Christmas rally. Here we go. This is how it is. Christmas rally always never fails. It's gonna rip up here. It's because quarter three can have nothing but yeah, yeah. This is what it does. I should have swum long. After that, see how many buyers are present. Shit ton. It's just gonna rip. Okay. Yep. And then we break the high, just like that. Man, not even 2 minutes it took to just stretch the whole. Yep. They call it a Christmas rally for a reason, and it being that market tends to just rally heavily. We're getting some absorption up here. You can see this red candle. Just the high. I didn't trade yesterday. I took the day off. I opened it up. I missed the morning. It was just really slow. Look at this. A huge amount of selling coming on. Okay. Let's just be aware of what we're gonna do here. There's gonna be buying here and here. I possibly will buy somewhere around the value area low because I think we're gonna break above this. Let's see how this reacts here. But this is most likely gonna go up even further. Let's do a small stop right below here. Here we go. We're in the longs. We'll try to aim 1,000. We're gonna aim up here, 1,600. Because I'm pretty sure we're gonna go to that. Possibly. But we'll see. We will see. I just gotta protect myself underneath here. If it breaks below this, then I'll be in trouble. But if it comes back up and breaks this, it's gonna go to here. This could be a 1 to 4, 1 to 3. So I'll protect myself early. Once we break this, I'll protect myself. And there we go again. We should go like this. Protect ourselves now. We're at 400. I'm gonna target this 1,600, but we'll see if it starts to sell off. Then I'll protect underneath this bubble. If this breaks above this, we'll protect ourselves underneath this last bubble. This is a way of always putting protection underneath the previous sell points. The reason I put my stop here is because this was the previous where aggressive sellers try to sell and they got absorbed. Come on. So they're trying to sell right here again, right underneath this area. If this gets absorbed, we're going to go up here. We're going to squeeze out the sellers again because there's a large amount of sellers up here. And yeah, if not, we can break even and reset. And I'll be all right. I'm in a good trade though. I think this is going to hopefully move up to the high without. Come on. We're in buyers right here. All these buyers right here. This is what they're trying to hold. Right here, right here. And then we already held down here as we pushed above. So this is a good thing. Sellers did hold. Did get absorbed slightly, but they're trying one more time, one more push again, which we could get in right here. Damn. I think I might be. This pushes needs to push above. No. There's aggressive sellers jumping in. Okay. Break even. We're good. We'll see if this actually reacts to it. If this gets absorbed, then it might be good taking along up here. I just gotta use the restroom real quick. looks like sellers are starting to engage again. Getting absorbed again. Oops. So it probably wasn't a good area, but we'll see. This next candle, if it closes, I could take a buy above here too. I protect myself below here. We'll see how sellers get absorbed, but they were winning the battle here. They try to buy above, they sold, got here. So we'll see if they win the battle more and come down to this area. We're now kind of in a stalemate. We'll see. Only time will tell. You can see. Sorry, I can't see my thumb. Um, yeah, sellers are winning. You can see right here, selling got a lot stronger. They are being absorbed because if you look at price right now, we're at the lowest we point of the day, so we could bounce off the value area low. What we could do too is go from here from the previous low. Look at some volume. Probably somewhere right around here, to be honest, is going to be the next area where they'll probably bounce. Here, between here and here, this is where the next big. So this will be the area where, right near the value area low, could look for longs again, and then we could target actually a bigger risk reward. So yeah, buyers absorbing still. This breaks above this probably be a good trade to take. You could just do a small stop loss, honestly. Oop, can't do a stop loss there. We'll do just underneath here. Take profit. Yeah, 350 times. You can see your sellers try to sell, buyers absorbed, and you can see one more time, buyers starting to step in a little bit more, and sellers are trying to engage. I think we won the micro battle here, but we'll see if this gets controlled or not. We'll go here, $400. Just make it even. Come on. Yep, Christmas rally coming in hot. Come on. I know this is gonna break above the high again. We're probably gonna go up to, yeah, probably up here. I think this is the previous day's high. I gotta look at the higher time frame chart, but it wants to go up. Then what I could do is move my stop to below here, lessen my risk. If this breaks above this, then that'll give me a little bit less risk. Take off some risk off the table. Key is just constantly taking risk off the table. Risk management, being smart with it, and then I'm okay with taking a loss here if it is, because everything's in my direction where it's should have been a good trade. But the only thing I don't like is the cumulative delta. It is slowing down. It's getting absorbed. It's becoming less red, and price is moving up. So I do think this is going to explode back up again. So we'll go on here. Let's go to a 30-minute chart so I can just kind of take a look where I'm at. Yeah, so we're going to take this up to the previous day's high, which should be 1480. And I think it's going to go there. Possibly even higher if I were to put a guess on it. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to protect ourselves down here. 255 for the risk. We broke above here. Next time we're going to squeeze here. And that's how you do it. We're aiming for 1480. And once this squeeze, this is going to jump. It's going to jump probably to 760. If we get above here and we get aggressive buying again, it's going to jump. Yep. Watch this. Squeeze. Boom. They're gonna sellers jumping in, and I'm gonna move this to this. Stop loss to break even. I'm already at 235, so I don't need to risk anything else here. Now it's gonna. So they're gonna try to do it one more time. They're gonna aggressively sell, and the buyers, once they get above this point, is where you're gonna see the jump and the squeeze happen. Because sellers are getting dominated right now. This is the area they're really trying to sell at, but we'll see if it actually holds up. If this holds up and it sells off, then we could see it break below this. Oh, we come down to this area. If it can't, if it goes back up, then. But you can see buyers are willing to pay higher. There was large orders all above because they know this is most likely they are willing to pay even more. So we'll see there. Sellers showing some signs of fight in here. We'll see. This could be, yeah, this could definitely. The only one thing I could see here is that delta is not climbing with buyers, so it's either they're having heavy absorption, which is definitely a possibility. If this comes back up and jumps, and then delta becomes green, then they absorbed all the sellers. But what we can see here is most likely is buyers willing to pay higher. Sellers are trying to hold them up here at this level, and yeah, we'll see if this is a continuation or if this is just a double top and we start to sell off all the way down to the bottom. More aggressive buying. Sellers foot on the gas. They're willing to pay higher. I mean buyers, sorry. All right. So we're already have our entry protected no matter what. And then what we can do is we can put our stop below here once we break above this, because this will be the last area that sellers tried to sell and they got rejected. So the key is here to wait for the squeeze to happen at the top. Once the squeeze happens with aggressive buying, then we place our trailing stop below this. If it doesn't happen, then we break even. Cool. Call it a day. A good trade. Um, but yeah, we'll see. Aggressive buyers right here. Only thing I don't like is cumulative volume delta. It's not decreasing, but it's not green. We're not getting a huge amount. There looks like absorption again. And here we go. Squeeze happening, incoming. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll move this below this to protect ourselves. 120 bucks at the minimum. But we should squeeze above this and it should start to move up. If it doesn't, cumulative delta is moving now with it. So it looks like buyers have kind of taken over control. And then we'll see hopefully continuation going upwards. Christmas rally engaging. You should see support somewhere right around here where buyers initiated last. Yeah, look at that. Buyers protected. Should it go even higher? If not, if it's going to fail here, then we're in trouble. But this is previous day's high. I'm targeting previous day's high. I'm going all the way up. Mm-hmm. I had good execution. I waited for the entry. And then I had small stops too. Look at this. Aggressive buying. Pushing up. Aggressive buying. Pushing up. They're willing to pay. They're going to target this area right here. I should have just went long on the open. I would have been up. Crazy. Just right here. 630. Boom. You should have just went long. Put a long stop order right here. This would have been a pretty crazy move. 645. You could have made, yeah, at least 100 points. So now buyers are starting to get exhausted a little bit. Sellers kind of kicked in and looks like we're probably going to fail here. If this fails one more time and we go up and break this, then I'll probably hit take profit. If this tends to fail and we break below this area where I have my protection, it ain't looking good. It's going to probably make a retracement back down. And the reason why is because you can see selling on the delta is actually, you know, it was strong, and then it got a little bit divergent. So you can see sellers were stepping in quite a bit up here, but there was buyers that were coming in this area. Now the key is this going to continue to push? Most likely, most likely. But the cumulative delta is telling us a different story. It's just getting more aggressive on the sells. So one or two things, sellers will get absorbed, and you'll see this kind of come back up, or like we're seeing right now, it's going to get more aggressive and I'll break even. Not break even, with some profit. 115 bucks. Okay. So look at this, sellers getting extremely aggressive again. You could see buyers, they were willing to pay higher, but then they got absorbed, and then sellers took over. Okay, so next entry. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, look at that, sellers willing to pay higher. So somewhere in here, honestly, is where like the value low, like they said, could be somewhere honestly. Oop. This is like the low volume node between here. Kind of a big area, but if you want to narrow it down, look at this. Aggressive selling got absorbed again. We will see if this is a continuation pattern of it coming further down, but honestly, that's probably on the right side. We'll see if this squeezes again back. I might just take a long up here and scalp another. We'll see how this closes right here. We'll just buy low. If it gets absorbed and comes back down here, then we'll look for a long in here. If this doesn't, then I might take a long up here. All reaction to the market. We'll see. I just don't want to take anything too early without some confirmation. So if this closes back above here, most likely I'll take a long. But as you can see, aggressive buying got absorbed. Now they're going to come back and test these aggressive sells right here between this area. Once we break this down to the value area low, probably, then we'll see if that holds. If it doesn't hold, then we could see actually a sell off today, which would be kind of insane before a Christmas rally that we always see. Yeah, we are up 115 bucks. Not bad. I had good risk management, protecting myself early on, and scalping trades when needed. So you can see aggressive sellers again. This will be the true fight. Break above here, you're probably going to see a nice move up. If you break below here, then we're going to see a nice move down to this area. Yeah, hasn't been a bad day this morning. I should have just went long right here off the rip. This is like almost $2,000 right here. You could have just made just off this 2 candles, less than 2 minutes. But there was no, I mean, yeah, you got a buying bubble here, yeah, but there's no, I guess you could say real entry. I mean, we were in consolidation here, and then once you broke above this, yeah, I don't know. I don't like to take anything until we see like actual moves happening. This will be an important area right here. Sellers look like the deltas continue to go down. We'll see if it gets absorbed here again. But this is a very important area. This is the area that most likely it's gonna come to right here. It'll be where all this strong buying is inside this, I guess you want to call it fair value gap. The sellers dominated right here. Definitely. Look at this. Once we broke this, you could have taken a short here or right here as soon as you saw this. Stop above here. and then ride this down to either somewhere in this area and gotten out. Okay, let's just wait. We're gonna wait here. I wanted to see it test this area, possibly for a long. It is showing us that it wants to go up, but the delta is not, which is a little worrisome. Um, yeah, I just gotta be patient here. I can't force anything. I'm already up 115. If I could get like 1,000 today or 1,500, I'd be stacked. Excited, super excited. It'll be a great day, especially in the because Christmas is gonna be no trading Christmas, obviously, possibly not Christmas Eve because everyone's gonna be gone at that point. Christmas Eve, Christmas is gone, and then probably not trading till the following New Year, which will be probably next week. My first session of the year. Seeing aggressive selling here. Delta is riding with it, so this move is in conjunction with the sell-off. So we'll see. I want to see what happens when it gets to this area right here. This will be this box. This is where the most amount of buying happened, and the value area lows right here. So it's going to touch down in this area. We'll see if we get some sort of retracement out of this area. He could have gone short here. Put your stop above there. 270, and you could have easily gotten I would have gotten out right here. See value area low right there. They try to aggressively sell it again. We'll see. I think we're going to come into this area. There's strong buying here. This is why it's getting held up here. There's orders still left over. Um, we'll see. I want to see aggressive buying before I get in any sort of trade down here, because then it shows that buyers are serious. Yeah, you could see absorption here, but I want to see aggressive buying. Because that shows me the big boys are jumping in. Yeah, the reason I marked this area is you can tell here, this is where, if you look right here, this is the two most important big buying areas that we bought in this area. In this fair value gap, whatever you want to call it. Imbalance. But if you want to be honest, where there's no volume, it's probably going to be somewhere in this area. So it could dip right into this area right below it. This is why you want to wait for aggressive buying. It's because, yeah, we had passive buyers. We'll see if they continue to hold, but I want to see aggressive buying somewhere in this area. And you just got to be patient and wait. Yep, see selling. Look at this. The delta's still selling off. So it's starting to get absorbed a little bit down here, but I think we're going to come into this area where you have this imbalance of buyers that shot this candle up in the morning, and they're going to have difficulties breaking this. You can see sellers keep trying to sell it, and they kind of can absorb down here. They could either break through. So we got our first buying bubble. Let's see if it actually holds. You want to wait. Just wait for this. So wait for maybe the test of this, or if it breaks down, because I'm not willing to take this. This is a high risk trade if you were to take a longer here. You still have not yet seen any sort of buying presence yet besides this little bubble. If it were not to come down here and it's get another bubble and then it breaks back above this, that would be a fairly decent entry. If this holds and it closes above it, then it could be looking good, especially since we're off the value area low. But we'll see. I don't think the sellers are done yet quite here. And you can see, look at the cumulative delta. We're still negative. I think we're gonna breach this area right here, which is where buyers will probably start to step in. And look at that, buyers got wrecked right there, absolutely wrecked. Okay, so we're gonna wait, let this breach this, let buyers step in here, then we might take a long, wait for price action to show us. Only up 115 today. I had some small long that I moved my stop to trail and it knocked me out, but aggressive selling happening here, and aggressive selling seems to be working out now, and cumulative is riding with it. So look at that, we're coming down in here, we're dipping into this low volume nodes right into a fair, whatever you want to call it, fair value gap imbalance area, and then we're going to wait and see. I would like to see this sell get absorbed or some buyer and then the sell, but you can see the selling is getting stronger. So if this breaks this, then this realistically is the last leg, and you're probably gonna, you can see the individual for the valley today right here is down here for the, right here on the day. So this needs to hold. If this doesn't hold, then my bias is gonna change short. Like I said, right when it came down to this area, this is gonna be the area where, what I say, dip right below this, and we'll see what happens there. If buyers can't step in there, then this could go all the way down to the low of the day, and then we can get in trouble. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna place a buy stop above this order. I want to protect myself down here, since we're seeing buy orders down here. I want to see this close back above this. It's gonna be a slightly riskier trade, but as you can see, I want to see the buyers recover. I'll risk some of my profits and a little bit of my. If buyers can recover back above this area, then we're good. But ooh, look at sellers. They said, nah, we ain't messing around now. Damn. I should. That was a short right there. That was a nice short. If this gets absorbed here, then we could be. Some absorption happening here. Damn. That was a great short. I could have went short somewhere right on here. That would have been. Bummer. Okay. It is what it is. It was a risky short, but it would have paid off well. If this closes below this, this will be the point where it gets absorbed. This could absorb here. Buyers can step in here. You can see absorption happening here. And then what you could do is you can put your stop right below this candle. We'll see if it breaks above this buying area. Do this. Because you can see right here there is absorption happening right where this aggressive selling happened. They could have stepped in right above this area where you had aggressive buying here. But we'll see. You are seeing the green delta absorption happening here with aggressive selling, and we'll see if this could continue to sell below this very well could. We'll see if buyers are able to hold this up. More selling pressure. I still think once we get above these areas, it's going to accelerate, and you're going to see it close above this, and then you're going to see it ultimately go to the high if this all gets absorbed down here. That's what I'm anticipating happening. If not, my bias is most likely shifting to short here if this breaks this last level of support. And the reason why this being last level of support, you can see this last high volume node here. So this is the last level of protection. It's either gonna fail or you're gonna see it rip up. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Selling getting absorbed again. I want to see this get absorbed one more time. We'll go right here. Right above this candle right here. We'll see if this closes above again. If it closes back above here and the selling pressure eats it up, buyer eats it up again, then this could be a great move. We'll put it right below here. We'll have like a 285. We're gonna go all the way back up here. We'll see if it works out. This is gonna be a crazy move if it does, but I'm seeing buying pressure eat up, selling, getting absorbed down here, and Delta starting to slow down. You get a buying bubble that reacts to it. So, and look at this. Then you're gonna start to see some. Look at this buying Delta is starting to put pressure on now. Hopefully this works out. I think I called a great entry at the bottom. You guys can see a fabulous entry of hopefully $2,100 here. We'll see how this entry plays out. As soon as we break above this, we're gonna see it accelerate back up to this area right here. And then once you see this, you're gonna see it accelerate back up to the high. What I'll do is I'll just I'll go right there. But you can see this rally up. This could definitely be the beginning stages of a huge rally. Again, they always call it the Christmas rally for a reason. We trapped a lot of buyers thinking it was just going to break out and just rally up even higher, and they ended up pulling all the way back down to this area where buyers were present again, and more buyers stepped in here. They squeezed all these buyers out. So we'll see. I got some coffee cups here. I need some water. I have high faith in this trade, but I have risk there, and my risk, I'll do $300. I'll do slightly below this. Now we got to break it back above this. There's pressure here, but we break it back above this. We squeeze above where sellers were present in here. And this was the last support area. You can see right here, this is where the last volume was. So this is literally, if it breaks this, my bias is short. I'm not gonna go long anymore after this point, unless we see some sort of recovery. But right now, this is my last possible entry for a long. Other than that, it does not make any more sense at this point. If it does come down and break my hit my stop. So, and you got to be okay with your risk. I'm totally fine with this risk. It's not a whole lot of risk. $300 to make close to $2,000 right now. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. It's a 1 to 6, 1 to 7. And I really have high faith that this is probably going to come up to the value area high here. So we'll remove this real quick so it clamps the chart. Look at that. Right, tap back into my entry. I'll probably move my stop to break even once we break above this area right here. I need to see this break. Absolutely fabulous entry. Very good risk management. Look at that. Very, very small risk. I'm not waiting for anything. I'm seeing in live action. And there we are. We're at 500 already. I'm moving my stop to break even. We're going to protect ourselves, and we're going to let it ride. I'll be right back. We're in the long here. We're at 445. Realize where I have $113. And then, yeah, hopefully we're going to see this go up to a $2,000 trade. We'll let it ride. It could come down and like look at this. Seeing aggressive sells again, but I'm protected. I do not mind. And ooh, look at that. Holy shit. That was crazy. Holy moly. I could risk it and just keep my stop here, but look at this. This is aggressive selling. I'm not gonna stick around and try to keep my entry here. I think this could dip even further. I mean, you can see this. Look at it. They're willing to pay a lower price, and sellers got back control here, so there's no point of being in the trade. We'll see down here if this becomes aggressive again. If not, I could take another long up here, and I still have room to target. But you can see we tapped out the value area low, and then we sold back off again. So this is not a good sign for buyers. So next possible entry here. If we break short, I I could target down here. I want to see what happens here. And if this gets absorbed, then I'm taking a long one more time. As long as it doesn't break this heavily. So because my guess is this most likely will be absorbed. We're gonna take one more long entry here. If it breaks back above this will be a good long. We'll see if the sellers continue to eat this up or not. And right now they look like they are. So I'll remove this order if it does break below this. If it doesn't, if it kind of wicks out here and then comes back and breaks this strong, this will be my point to break even right above here. But we got to see the buying pressure here. Stop loss will go right below here. We'll just go $340. And you're starting to see aggressive sellers trying to sell here, and buyers are holding this up once again. So we'll do, if this makes it up here. If not, we'll take a stop loss here. This will be another good entry if it does come up, because this could rip above this, and then I'll be protected early on within like the first 4 to 5 minutes. Excuse me. And it couldn't break below this last sell bubble, and you can see the absorption happening, and Kuma Delta starting to grow a little bit here. So this area will be the area where I will move my stop. Oh, right there. This will be the area where I move my stop to break even. And then we'll target the value area high, or the POC. We can get out somewhere right around here, 720. But I think we're going to go all the way up to, I think it's 76 or something like that. Then we're going to go up to here, to be honest. Because we're going to, if we squeeze this, break this, we squeeze this, and they're going to have a squeeze above high from all these sellers. And you're going to see this could be a big trade before the New Year's close for me. I do really have a lot of faith. There's like, I think it's like a something crazy statistic, but 90, like it's like 70 to 80% of the time, right before Christmas, called the Christmas rally, a couple days before, the market just rallies. It's kind of the ending of the year strong, as I would say. But I think this was a trap, pulling back people, thinking that we're going to go short. People are shorting here, and they're going to absorb here, and then they're going to bring it above here, if not even higher. And yesterday's high is somewhere above here. I got to look, but it's like 70 something, I think. Once you go here, I go to short again. You could have taken a buy right above here. It would have been a slightly more um, protected buy, but I could already kind of see the absorption happening, it failing to break, and delta growing. So I took an early entry. And once we get above here, we get aggressive buying again. Then I'll move my stop one more time to break even. And hopefully we will see this move to all-time highs again. And you can see this is starting to get aggressive. All right, we're gonna move to break even here. We're protected with these buy bubbles here. This is closed above. And we have a good entry point right above the selling pressure where selling failed. Because as soon as this broke above this, couldn't break below this selling bubble here. It wicked below, but buyers were present there again. Then once we get here, we're going to get acceleration up into the POC. I'll probably exit, honestly. I'll probably exit here. I think we're going to accelerate back up here to the value area high. And look at this, aggressive buying, follow through, aggressive buying, follow through. This should be another aggressive buying, more follow through. I can move my stop below here for probably $300-400, $200-300 if it comes down and ends up doing the same thing where aggressive sellers get aggressive up here again. But you can see delta is growing. You're going to see sellers try to cover themselves one more time here, and then they're going to get squeezed out one more time. If this follows the plan as it's looking like it's going to. And the reason we weren't able to make a new low, they absorbed here, so sellers are trying to avoid the squeeze, and they're getting absorbed here, and then we should see the squeeze happen when it breaks above here, above the high. Great trade, up 550 right now, unrealized, and realized I'm up about $100. So what we can do is protect ourselves below here for about $200, or we can protect ourselves below this last selling candle as soon as we close above this. And this might be a little too early to trail this. I mean, it'll be $400, but we'll see. This should be protected right below here, because if this does break below this, then sellers might gain control again. So what I'll do is I'll probably protect it right underneath this candle where this last selling failed, and then that way I at least will be given at least $400 out of this trade if it does. Or I can protect myself right here where the buying pressure is. I'll go right here. I'll give it a little bit of room. But buying failed a little bit up here. We'll see if it closes back below this. This will be the true test. If not, I'll be at $400 for the day. Now we got to squeeze above this again one more time. Sellers are going to try to accelerate here. Buyers are going to have to absorb right here one more time. Otherwise, they're going to lose the battle. And this could get ugly again. I'll protect myself right below this bubble. We'll go right here, just so there's some protection below the gap. You don't want to trail too hard, but you just want to give it enough space to where, you protect yourself and lock in some profits if it goes against you. Because this starts to fall here and it starts to gain acceleration. This is probably going to break the low. But we're still seeing aggressive buying. They're still willing to pay higher and higher. Sellers are trying to fight here, but I'm not seeing any sort of aggressive selling up here. And this is the area where they're getting absorbed. I think every single trade today, I haven't hit a straight stop loss yet, which is pretty good. And it's been just really nice, consistent move so far, rides with the trend. So Guaranteed 300 on this trade for a profit target of 1900 at the value area high. I might get out here at the POC because um, there will be some pressure here to sell again when it gets up here because they're going to try to cover their shorts. So if I do exit here, I will still exit with $1,500. So I won't mind the $400 difference securing $1,500. That'll put me at 1,600, then I'll be done for the day. Raw execution here. And the reason I went long here, you can see sellers got absorbed here. And then you can see this candle, they try to break this last selling bubble, which big aggressive sell down here. Couldn't break it. Couldn't break it again. I put a buy right here right when this happened. It shot up, boom, entered. Very little drawdown. I think 0 to none. And then we target either value area high or POC. I'll most likely target POC. And you can see value area low. We came down. We broke structure. And then we kind of tapped into it one more time, and then we went up higher. So we're in balance for today because we haven't broken all-time highs quite yet. We tested slightly above it, but there wasn't a clean break of the balance. But we're definitely gonna, this will be a good target here. I'm gonna target POC. This will be my target. This will be a great trade. And you know what? I'm gonna give this room, trading room, I'm just gonna give it the last buy bubble. If it breaks below here, $200, I'll be up 300 for the day. That way I'm not stingy on my, but I don't want to leave money on the table either. So if this fails here, I might put it below this candle, but this could still come down and test the value area low. This is VWAP line. This is basically where the volume weighted average profile is, where um, a very key area too as well. We break above that, there's gonna be a lot of longs going above there, and they're gonna accelerate to the POC, which they'll try to target this area here where I'm at. Let's see. I think my dad probably. Let's put this down here real quick. Do this real quick. I just gotta make sure. I don't know why Discord's not working. Is there Discord on here? Yeah, no. Okay, I don't know. So this is good thing. We're getting aggressive buying here. Buyers are willing to pay a higher price, and delta is rising. So this will most likely, it probably has like a 70% chance of hitting my take profit here. And what I could do is I could trail this. I could go below here, secure $500 for the day. And what I'll do is I'll do it right below here, 325. So 400 no matter what. Now that we failed to break that and there's aggressive buying happening. And look at this. We had tried to sell again, got absolutely killed, the sellers. Now they're gonna have to start covering positions. And they're really gonna have to cover up here where they were aggressively selling. That's where buyers are gonna target. Liquidity is somewhere right around here, and this is where we'll start to accelerate right around here, and then we'll probably push to all-time highs. No trades yesterday, so I woke up a little bit late, and then the market was kind of dull. So this is on a funded that I've passed on here, and then we'll see if we can do a road to the payout with you guys live. So if this selling fails, then I'll move my stop up here below the selling candle. But if this starts to accelerate, then I'll be out here with $300. But buyers tried to buy here, and they did get absorbed so far. But sellers, this is the area where they're trying to sell. And there's lots of sellers in this area right here. So the buyers are trying to break this level. So if this ends up closing back above here, I'll move my break even to right below here, about $500. It'll be more or less, yeah, $500 here. And looks like that's what we're gonna do. So I'll protect myself even further, lock in more profits. If the market tends to go against me, then it'll be somewhere right around here. We'll do like right there, right below the selling bubble, if it does close back above here. If this ends up failing right here, this buying bubble, then we're in trouble. It's gonna probably come down and knock us out in profit. So if we get the squeeze above here, you're gonna see acceleration again, probably above this area, and then point of control, here we come. So here I'll almost move my stop. I need to see this break above this last little aggressive buying. And you're seeing buying happening at the bottom with the delta. So this is I'm in a good area. I'm in a great, look at the long. I'm in the very bottom. This will be like I'll be up 600 for the day if this breaks up here and then it fails again. But if it doesn't have a go all the way up here, then I'll be end of the day with 1600 and call it a good day. Then I probably won't trade. I may trade tomorrow. We'll see, but I doubt there's not going to be any volume in the market. Today is more volatile because we had PCE, so that I think got released at 5:30, I believe. That's why you see this sell happen down here. So we'll keep it here for now. Keep this protected. But sellers are trying to sell again. We'll see if they execute and actually follow through. More aggressive selling happening, and Delta is building. This is an important area right here. You're getting a bunch of aggressive selling bubbles. If this all gets absorbed, sellers are going to be in deep shit. If they do end up falling through, then buyers are going to have to cover themselves here soon because they're going to target down here again. And this is where you can see aggression start to, yep, starting to follow through. They're taking out this anyone right here where buyers are. There's buyers still present in here. This will be the last form of protection. And if this wicks out and closes back above here, sellers have kind of failed the auction, and then we're going to go up higher. But we're testing this value area low, and the reason why this is most likely going to work out because we went boom, we tried to test below, failed, tested one more time, failed again, then we broke above it. So buyers are definitely in control still. And buyers are willing to pay a higher price, and they're going to continue to absorb, and there it is. So what we can see here, we need this to close. Let me move this so it's a little more clear. We need this to close above this area here, and then we'll move it to below here to protect ourselves even further. Aggressive selling failed, aggressive selling failed. Buyer stepping again. You'll see aggressive buying above here again, and they're going to initiate the push after this. The squeeze, I guess if you want to call it squeeze push. Squeeze push, squeeze push. Aggressive buying, like I said. More aggressive buying. Buyers are winning the auction. They just knocked people out of positions there. I was in there pretty good, so I already had myself protected in profit. So what you could do is you can protect yourself down here. I can guarantee myself 500 bucks here, no matter what. 550. So it'll be like 650 for the day if this ends up failing above here, since we closed above it. And either I'll get 550 or 1500. Because I need to see buyers willing to pay a higher price, and they are absorbing and they're willing to pay a higher price, and sellers are getting squeezed out here again. And you can see where it bounced right here where this volume was. So you can see this volume node. So the next area we have right here where it had some troubles, they try to sell. If this fails here, the next area they're going to go up into this area where there's liquidity, because this is where all the liquidity lies. So what I'll do is I'll put it just below this area, because if this accelerates down here, then buyers will be in trouble. They can't break above and they're not willing to pay higher price. This is the last effort from the sellers to try to push one more time, because they're really trying to cover themselves, because they're hoping buyers won't push higher. But auction market theory is telling us that this is most likely going to go higher. So if this fails here and this breaks above this area here where buyers are present, then you can move your stop even below here again even more and protect yourself even more and lock in more profits. That way you're not giving away profits back to the market. You're waiting for the market to kind of give you the reading on whether this is going to work out or not. But you will see acceleration above this area again. And most likely we're going to see all-time highs. So I could even trail this all the way up to here, honestly. Aggressive buying again, more aggressive buying. We got to see it break above this last bubble for it to initiate more buying triggers to happen and the squeeze to happen. So then I'll put it below. I'll lock in almost 700 bucks here, so it'll be up 800 for the day. And this is really good risk management. This will be $800 no matter what for the day. Or I could I'm going to go for the all-time highs. I'm going to call it a good, I'm going to really risk this. I'm just going to trail it hard. Every auction theory that more aggressive buying, they're going to try to squeeze here now. If this fails, then we can see it go down to here, and I'll guarantee 500 bucks. Squeeze is going to happen right above here. As they close, they're going to start to accelerate again. All right. So now what I can do is guarantee myself 700 bucks no matter what. Buyer's foot is on the gas now. But you can see failed sells, failed sells, failed sells. Let me go buying. This is in the area of kind of consolidation, but we're going to see this break out of this area, and we'll probably see it go to all-time highs. And to be honest, if you want me to be honest where it's probably going to go, we're going to see it go up to, if I wanted to be crazy and hold it to the all-time high from yesterday, it's going to cover this gap right here. Hold it up here. And then maybe I might take that, honestly. Because you're going to see acceleration above here. They're going to squeeze sellers above here, and then they're going to go up to here. And that's where buyers could $2,800 trade if that's the case. If that hits, I'll be up almost $3,000 for the day on a crazy trade. But this is basically analyzing the market with order flow in real time. You're not waiting for a pattern or this or that. You're just analyzing volume coming into the market and how the actual auction's going on real time between lower time frame. Here goes a squeeze. They're trying. We'll see if we get more aggressive. If this starts to squeeze up here and break above this area here, then yeah, here it goes. And there's a squeeze. Now they're forcing sellers to cover their position, and they're willing to pay a higher price. And then this will be the Christmas rally initiated. So no matter what, guaranteed 800. And if that's the case, I'll probably call it a day at 800. If it does hit my way I think it's going to go, I'll be up almost $3,000 today. And then I'll call it a day. There will be no more trades after that. Volume's building too with momentum, so this is looking really good. So we'll see if the buyers are still willing to pay a higher price. If not, if it comes down here, then I'll get out. They're testing these buys right here. If this holds and we break back above this, then we're going to see acceleration up to the POC, then all-time high or daily highs, and then all-time highs from the previous day, which I think we might see. PCE I think came in slightly higher than expected, I believe. Let me see what we can go here. Let's go to we just type in economic calendar. I think it's Market Watch or one of those. I believe. Previous was delayed report. Yeah, so we came in slightly higher. GDP came in higher too, so I believe that was where's this one? I think trading economics. Yeah, this is the one. So we'll go impact. We'll go high impact. So previous was 0.07 consensus forecast, the actual. So it was slightly less. That's not good, but growth rate was higher, which is expected in GDP. So then we have FOMC minutes on Tuesday. So we actually might trade that. Monday, Tuesday we might trade. Maybe Tuesday. So you can see look at this. This was, yeah, that's the actual. Okay. So this is looking good. We're still trailing this. We're up to 1,200 right now. I could trail below this buy bubble here and guarantee $1,000, which I probably will do. We'll go right here. I'll guarantee $1,000 for the day, and then we'll just continue to ride it. They squeezed out all these sellers, so sellers had to cover. Now they're just going to the POC, and then you're going to see acceleration all the way back up to the high. We'll see what happens to the POC. The last point, once it gets like above here, and we start to see acceleration, this is just going to rip up again. So up 1,300. We could protect ourselves even more below this buying bubble, but it could come back and test it again. But you can see that the cumulative delta is building. This is on the funded that I passed, so we're just going to continue trying to rack this up. I want to get up to like 5 to 10K on this one, and then give us some room to try to get a payout, possibly like the first week of the new year, which would be nice to go into the new year with the payout right off the bat. So it's going to come in and test this area right here probably to see if buyers are. If not, it's going to go all the way back up to here, and then we'll put it right below this buying bubble right here. Guaranteed $1,100. We're going to target right here. We'll target this area right here. We'll target 2 grand right here, right at the top. POC shifted, so there's definitely selling volume here too. We'll see if this buying ends up holding up. We'll give this room right here, right below all these buying bubbles. Great trade. You can see the entry here. Look at this entry. Absolute ridiculous entry. Just reading the mechanics of the volume. And one thing I've noticed, and I've actually done some research with people talking about online, and this actually happens very often, is these spikes in volume on the day is where there are key areas of resistance support because where liquidity lies. You can see here, this is where it bounced and buyers were starting to become present. They were willing to buy here because this is where liquidity actually lies. I know some people think highs and lows. That's not always the case. Right here is where a bunch of liquidity lies because you can see this volume. So we're going to have difficulties here, but once we come up here, this will be hitting take profit. My stomach, it's fucked up, hurts. Ah. Most people would have exited by now, and it's not a bad exit because you're at the POC. But I just know they're going to go for all-time highs again. And what I might do is just keep on moving my take profit and just trailing it harder, more aggressively, and that way I can kind of squeeze whatever I can out of it. But even then, I was only risking $300. I'm already up 1,300, so this is going to be like a 1 to 6, 1 to 7, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20, yeah, about 1 to 7, 1 to 6.5. Because my original entry was here, and then my stop was right below here. Oh, and you're looking at right here, 1 to 6. Actually, my stop loss was right here when you saw me, because this was already executed. So it's like a 1 to 8, which is a absolute killer entry and killer take profit. Having a little bit of difficulties. I want to see aggressive buying up here again and then follow through. You're starting to see sellers trying to step in a little bit. No aggression though, so which is good. Just passive. Now we're seeing aggressiveness. So now what we can see is if this fails, these fails here, and then this comes back up here, because they're trying to aggressively sell where these buyers did, then I can move my stop even higher. I can move it to 11, 1200 and guarantee myself some more profit no matter what. Keep on protecting myself. So if this breaks above this area with aggressive buying, then I can protect myself below here. If not, we just let it ride. And even though I guarantee $1,000, I'll call it a day at 1,000. I mean, that's a great day. I know some people are like, oh, let's go higher. Let's try to get 2 or 3 grand, but we'll give what the market takes you. If it's not in the right conditions, then we're gonna kind of diddle daddle down here. Yeah, it might still go up, but I'm not willing to risk more money after I'm up almost over $1,000. Like, there's no point in that. I don't know how many times I've gotten burned trying to continue to take profit, and then just getting eaten alive. Take a loss and you try to recover, and then you take another loss. Now you're down to like $400 or $500, and you're like, man, I just gave back all my winnings that I. I think the last POC was right here, so this was the last form of. It's gonna touch here, and this will be the right in this area, 720, and we're getting aggressive buying again. So what we'll do here is we'll move this to here, right below this bubble, guaranteed almost $1,300 no matter what. We are getting aggressive buying coming up all the way here, so they're willing to pay a higher price. They're gonna go here. All right, like I told you guys, all the way up to like what was 776 or something like that. I think up here somewhere. That's where I think they're gonna try to push it. And if it doesn't, if this fails here and these aggressive buyers get taken out and it comes back and pops below here, then yeah, I call it a good day. Up 1,300 almost, and great trade. Still in the trade, up 1,500 as we speak. We are protected here at 1,100 and profit no matter what. And we're targeting up here, right there. 381 ticks, $1,900. It'll be up 2 grand for the day, and we will call it there. And the reason here is because this is the previous high. This is the high, but this is where we found resistance and then it sold off. So this will kind of be the last area, right along here is where, right before the value area high, is where we see what actually happens. But all in all, this was so far a fabulous trade. I'm protected right below this last selling pressure where they try to aggressively sell. And yeah, you guys saw an absolute crazy trade so far. I mean, this entry, look at this. Let me remove this. It's an 8-to-1 no matter what. I went here and then my stop loss was right below here, the aggressive sells. I entered on this candle right here. So we saw no drawdown whatsoever. It just spiked up. And then I moved my stop and we got above here to break even. And then we just trailed it as we went up. You are seeing aggressive buying hopefully falling through here because you got 1, 2, 3, 4 bubbles. But we'll see right here. We'll see if they more aggressive buying. We'll see if they actually follow through, if sellers are starting to absorb a little bit here. They might pull back again. this will be the test, but I'm willing to just take my profits off the table at that point if it breaks below. I won't want to risk anymore at that point. Again, 1 to 8 where my actual take profit was, and this is probably going to go up to well over here, up to 76 from previous day's highs. You can see right here. And there we go again. They're squeezing even higher. We're going to see the real squeeze happen above the high. That's where sellers that have been short all day are going to absolutely have to cover their position. And that's where you're going to see a lot more aggression following through. But as of right now, we're just slowly pushing. And delta volume still growing, so this is still lining up with the move. I would have gotten out here because this is where the POC was from. I could have gone out here with 1,500, so it'd be up $1,600. But this is the last form of support or resistance, I should say here, and then we will see a move past the value area high, probably up to all-time highs after this. Daily highs, sorry, not all-time highs. The all-time highs are they're up here from the previous day, 791. And I could target that. I mean, we could let it ride. I might do that and just keep trailing. So, because I really think it's going to go. So let me just mark this out real quick. Right there is where we'll go back here. So 1 minute again. But you want to see a strong, if you see a strong push here through this area, then this will probably be a good area to take profit. Which will be previous days high, where we are going to target. There's going to be lots of liquidity. You're getting aggressive sells here, right in this area where the last little point of resistance is. If this fails, I could probably move it up again, and then we could just keep trailing. You know what? Let's do this. Let's target it. Let's try something crazy. Might as well. I already have profit locked in. Then what I can do is I can move my stop right below this candle, which would be 1510. Once we close above this area or we get a nice strong push, then because you are going to see once this sellers have to cover here and they get the squeeze here, this is going to get nasty. This is going to just pump like 20, 30 points. You're going to see it like go sideways a little bit, probably more aggressive selling or buying, and then you're going to see it pump again. If that's the case, I'll end with 3 grand on the day. I'll be up 4 grand on the account going into New Year's, and that will be an excellent place to be. I'll have plenty of drawdown, almost double my risk of drawdown, double my initial drawdown, so on my funded. But we'll see right here. This is, like I said, last form of resistance. They can't sell here. They're going to make the shorts cover here. And the squeeze is going to happen. And then they're going to blow past where all these shorts were. above here, and down they go. And there they are. They're pushing even higher, foot's on the gas. Now they're going to be willing to pay a higher price even more. Right here's the last form right here, right where they touched. That's the last little leg that we're looking at on the volume profile. So we'll see if shorts try to cover here again. They could. You're going to see buyers right here step in one more time. And if they don't step in and it comes here, then I get out with $1,100. More aggressive selling. So now what I want to see is, yep, that's actually doing already what I want to do. Once it breaks above that, we can probably move our stop below here because seller auction got failed here, and now they're gonna move to the high. So now what we can do here is actually put our right below here. So guaranteed 1,500 right here. 1,600, sorry, 1,600 here. Or we hit all the way back up to 2,900. If this fails here and the auction fails, can't get above this area then once we get above this again, like I said, we're going to see a large push up to here and then probably even a bigger push up to here. So killer trade them up 1,700, 100 realized, and then guaranteed 1,500 no matter what. So I'll be up 1,600 for the day, and we're just going to keep trailing. I'm trying to aim for that $2,900 trade. It'll be one of my bigger trades for sure in a while. And we could see this knock me out here. And if it does, great trade. Call it a day. I'll call the stream at that point if it does knock me out. And I do want to see it. If we squeeze above here and this just explodes up again, like another 10, 15 points, then it'll probably be like a 90% chance it's going to hit the previous day's high, which is 88.25, where there was aggressive buying up there. So as you can see here, we're still pushing up 1,800. This is on my funded, as you can see, that I passed on stream. And yeah, look at this, more aggressive buying. So we're gonna at least have some room for it to trade to work out more. Up 2 grand right now, unrealized. And then I want to see the push above here. This will be the area where we see aggressive buying start to take off even more. You're seeing it here, and then you're going to see even more here. But you just want to keep on giving your trade a little bit of room, and not too much room, but just enough to where it's showing auction market theory, and so right now we're seeing aggressive sells right here. So the next thing I want to look for now is this fail. It might come down a little bit, then this fail, and then this push back here, and then I could move my stop below here. Now you're seeing quite a bit of sells, 1, 2, 3 stacked on top of each other. And it's right here where I would have exited, but I'm all right to risk the 500, 400 bucks to try to make another additional like $1,400. Sorry, like an additional $1,000. To me, that makes sense risk management wise. So now I want to see this auction fail because they're going to come down and test this buying. I want to see this auction fail, close back above this, squeeze, and then I can put my stop somewhere right around here below and guarantee myself, $1,800, $1,700, $1,800. And this is where they'll probably find some support here, right where that drew that line. If it doesn't, if it continues to fall and then we see aggressive selling break, then yeah, this is gonna probably retrace back to maybe VWAP. I'm not sure. Even right now in this account, I think with this close, if I close this $1,500 position, 1,600, I'll be up like 2,500, almost 3 grand. So yeah, as we're seeing here again, I want to see this close above this area here. I want to see it close above this area here, and then you'll see acceleration between here and here, and then even more up here. And then I'll move my stop right below here, which will be 1,660, 1,700 bucks, 1,800. I'll be up like 1,800 bucks for the day. So that's the next move. Failed selling auction, and then buying. Continue to move in the direction that I wanted to see. We riding, baby. We going up. So we'll move it here at this point. Now we're gonna see aggressive buying kick in even more, and they're gonna get the squeeze to the high again. And then we're gonna go to yesterday's high up here. 2,900 will be my initial take profit. Insane risk management here. There it is. There's a squeeze. Now we're seeing the squeeze happen. You're going to see it even more. Buyers are building their position, and you're going to see the squeeze as soon as we get above 7150 up in this area here, right? When we get to 750-ish, sellers are going to try to sell it here. And yeah, we'll see how buyers react at this level one more time. But strength is continue to build on the buying. So I see this squeezing above here, bouncing, maybe coming back a little bit, and then going back up to. And we could probably put our stop below here. Sorry, was I mute? My bad. Guaranteed 1700. Yeah, great trade so far. 1700 right below this aggressive sells. I'm gonna go for the $3,000 trade. I'm just gonna continue to trail it. Either I make 1700, which I would have originally gotten out, which is somewhere right around here, or we're gonna pull back and see a retracement. But guaranteed that will put me up at 17, 18, almost $1,900. 1870, 1888. So this buying should hold up, and then we should see a. So I want to see this get absorbed, and if I can move it, I'll move it up somewhere right around here, tagging off the value area high, and then if I can, I'll move it right above here once we see this break back above this area again. Let me just remove all this. So right here is where I'll move this to here, right below. And if it doesn't, if it comes down and breaks me out, then call it a good trade. But this should push above here, and then you see acceleration. We could go right here and guarantee ourselves 1,900 bucks. Sorry. which is pretty much where our initial target was. So now I'll be protected, and then we'll possibly even climb higher. Now we are seeing the movement starting to happen. Now this is going to be where the squeeze is going to happen if we push all the way back up here. So what I can do is probably protect myself here as soon as we close above this area right here, 48. And then I'll call. This will be a great trade, and I'll call it a day after this. So we'll put it there. Yep, right below that. And then here it goes. Watch this. It's going to jump. You're going to see aggressive buying. If it is a true squeeze, you'll see aggressive buying right above here, and then you'll see a jump, or you see boom, 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 bubbles fill up as buyers are willing to pay a higher price. And if not, I get out with 1800, pretty much where my initial take profit was. Crazy trade. Up 2 grand unrealized, and then 100 realized. So not too shabby. Not too shabby. Oof, it was cold a little bit this morning. So right here is where you're going to want to see the squeeze start to happen. 48, right? And this is where these bubbles last time where they failed. You're going to see the squeeze for sellers. Our positions are somewhere in here where they have to cover right above here. So this was where we should see the squeeze happen. I mean, fabulous entry regardless of the. And if this fails, then they could fail the top again and then come down even further. But if this breaks back above this, I'll protect myself even higher. But if sellers do end up winning the battle here, then I'll be out. It looks like they are trying to, and they might win here. Either way, it was a great trade. Regardless, very, very, very good trade. And I'm out. Great trade. All right. Well, that was a great stream. Great job, everyone. We'll call it a day. Here we go. Have a good day. Have a good rest.